Hi. Happy Monday. Oh my gosh, do you remember when I was just say happy Monday, happy Tuesday? We did a lot of those videos and we did a lot of challenges. We did a lot of 30-day challenges and 60-day challenges, and it's been a long time. But I always loved recording the videos, and I always loved hearing back from people when they said that they loved the videos. So I want to get back to doing the videos, but at a bigger in a bigger way. So instead of just doing them in my small little group, they're gonna be here on YouTube for the whole world to see and hopefully to benefit from. Today I want to talk about the trap that is in looking for inspiration and motivation. So a lot of times what happens is when you get on the journey to personal growth, you find a great book or you see a great video and you become inspired. You see somebody that mirrors something back to you, that speaks to you, that makes you feel like there's more for you, and it kind of puts you on this journey of looking and seeking and learning and growing. And it's very exciting. It's very exciting in the beginning, and there's so much potential. Sometimes you see something or you hear something that you had never heard before. Maybe someone said to you that, you could dream bigger and be and do anything, and anything that you can conceive, you can achieve. You've heard these quotes, and you realize maybe for the first time that, yeah, like I can get off this hamster wheel. I can actually design my life. I can do the things that I've kind of dreamt about but been really afraid to dream about, because a lot of things that's for those people and not for me. So sometimes we're afraid to dream because we really can't get behind the dream, or we can't get behind the idea that that could actually be a reality for us. But if you stumble upon something that makes you start to believe in yourself a little bit, and you hear a story about somebody that came from a place that was very similar to yours, and they bounced up and they succeeded and they did incredible, amazing things, it makes you catch a glimpse of it. It makes you think that maybe, just maybe, you could do it for yourself. And so you get on this path of starting to believe, and then you watch more videos and you read more books to get more inspired, to get going on the journey, right? And a lot of times what can happen is we actually fall into a trap of not only comparing ourselves to other people, but also just really not understanding the full potential that comes from within. Because if you're looking at somebody else and you start to align your goals with the goals of that person, and you start to wish that you could be more like them and have things that they have, you can actually lose sight of yourself a little bit. And it can start to become not only inauthentic, but also really just depressing. When you try to force yourself to be something that you're not, it can take you down a dark road, and it can make you feel so much worse than you ever did before you even embarked on the journey. It makes you want to quit. It makes you feel like you're a loser, like you're not good enough, like something's wrong with you. And it's not it's not a good place to be. And that is never how you should feel when you're embarking on a growth journey. Because when you're in your growth journey, when you're pursuing your dreams, you're supposed to feel good. You're supposed to feel amazing. You're supposed to feel uplifted and inspired. And if you're not feeling that way, then you have veered off the path. So one of the things that's important for you to always remember is that when you look at people and you see people that are, for example, I'm just going to use this just as an example, just to illustrate sort of my point. You see a person, maybe it's a man, and this man is, fit, gets up 5 a.m., works out, does all the things, eats healthy, they're juicing, they're this, they're that, they're like hardcore, right? Then they're doing videos, then they're doing blog posts, then they're writing books, then they're doing seminars. They are just doing everything. And it seems like they're successful, and they are maybe very successful. And it can become very challenging when you personally are not a morning person. Maybe you're not the type of person to get up at 5 a.m. and get a workout in. And maybe you're not a grinder and a hustler and like a bulldozer type of personality. Maybe you're more soft. Maybe you're more, you get into the flow in a different way. Maybe your time for working out is actually better in the evening. And maybe you don't do good with heavy weights. Maybe you do really good with yoga or just walking or just stretching or getting on a bike. Or maybe you need to have, salsa music and you need to dance and do Zumba or rollerblade and move your hips in a different way and your body in a different way. But see, you're never going to discover that about yourself if you're trying to be like the 5 a.m. morning riser grinder guy that's going to the gym and lifting really, really heavy weights. And if you try to mirror that, you likely might just burn yourself out. And you might never find your true potential in the type of movement that you could be doing at the time of day where you feel strong, that could actually lead you to completely transform your body and your life and your mood and everything else. So oftentimes that's the first trap, is trying to be the way that the person is exactly. So you always want to find your own way. What you want to grab onto is the essence of that person, right? You want to be like them because they're living fully in and of themselves. Like they are just radiating out their fullness. That's what makes them so magnetic. But you have to find your own path. Don't copy their path. It might not work for you. It might backfire on you. The other thing that is really important to learn, and it took me many years to learn this, but sometimes what looks like success to you is actually somebody's addiction. It's actually somebody's trying to prove themselves, somebody's not enoughness, somebody that never feels like they're good enough, and they're constantly overdoing it, over grinding. They're making themselves sick. They're making themselves, miserable. They're making themselves exhausted, and they don't have good balance in their life. Maybe they are highly successful in this one area, but they are losing relationships, or they're losing other things that would be very valuable to you that you would not want to lose. And so it's important to know that even though somebody looks highly successful, that could just be their insecurities. That could be their addiction to work, or their addiction to working out, or their addiction to feeling a certain way, getting validated in a certain way. So they show up in the world and do that every day because they're absolutely addicted to that feeling and they can't live without it. So it is, and not to say that every single person that's successful in doing all this type of grinding type of stuff, that's the case. Absolutely, it is not the case. You can absolutely find your own flow in your own way and be successful in every single area of your life. From your health, to your money stuff, to your family stuff, to everything in between. It is absolutely 100% possible for you, but you have to find your way. Be very mindful of the trap, the social media trap, reading a great book and then stalking the author. Go watching a great clip on YouTube or Instagram and then stalking the creator and trying to figure out, what did they do? What do I need to do so that I can have that life that they have? Get inspired by their message. Feel the essence of who they are. Become really present to the fact that they are fully showing up and living out their life's gifts, and then know that you have your very own set of life gifts that are precious and unique to you. And you will find them when you set out on a journey. When you're seeking something, you will absolutely find it. When you start asking the questions, you will absolutely get the answers. So ask the question, what is it that my soul wants to do? What is it that I feel most myself when I'm doing? What is it that feels good to me? And let's avoid doing the things that we hate, that we have to drag ourselves to do. And let's focus more on, what can I do that really makes me feel good about myself, that I can say I feel proud of myself because I did that, that I can feel like when my family and my children watch me become this person, that they can become proud and inspired. And when you start to think in those terms and you start to ask those questions, look around and wait for the answer. Sometimes it takes some time. Sometimes we want these things to happen like yesterday, but you can't always skip through all the steps. You know, it's like when you plant a seed, you don't get the flowers right away. You know, you get the little seedling first, and it's just green and it's little, and then it has to get a little bigger and bigger and whatever, and then eventually you have a beautiful thing of flowers. But it takes time. So be committed to planting yourself, be committed to absorbing the energies, the essences of the people that you're really inspired by, and be committed to finding your own true way, your own true path. And really just stop beating up on yourself. For goodness sakes, stop beating up on yourself. If you skipped a workout, so what? You skipped a workout. You needed that rest. The guilt of the thing that you didn't do is destroying you more than the thing that you didn't do. Stop with the guilt. Give yourself some grace. Give yourself some love. Give yourself the ability to unfold naturally and fully the way that you were meant to, without constantly criticizing yourself and comparing yourself to everybody all around you. Horse blinders, put the horse blinders on. Look ahead, ask the questions, and the answers are coming.